Here we go. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Once again, this is Jamar500. Welcome back to the last and final part of my rant video on Kenny Frederick. And before we get started, today I will be reading some scriptures of my Bible. So I hope that Rodney1279 witnesses some of the scriptures that I will be reading. Now, some of these verses I am probably not going, how do I say it? Some of these verses that I will read will probably not fit with Kenny Frederick's actions, but it was the least I could do. Anyway, joining me for the fifth and final part, I have Stuart McPherran. Now, we tried to do this on Friday, but we had a lot of difficulty with our mobile devices. We even tried to do this by phone, and I shouldn't have said that publicly, but nonetheless that didn't work either. So we're trying this again, and now everything is set. So all right. So anyway, like I've stated in the last parts, Kenny has been pushing me into playing Wheel of Fortune and other game shows and other video games. He's been pushing me on Skype so many times into doing this. And when I had Adam Oliver join me for part 2, he said that Kenny was stalking me. Yes. And another thing is that Kenny actually thought that I called him a stalker when it was Adam who called him a stalker. Alright. Before I read my scriptures, Stuart, what do you have to say to Kenny Frederick? Now, I just want to add a few more things before I read my scriptures. First of all, from what I heard from a certain someone who I'm not going to bring up because that's right. This particular person told me that Kenny is always quiet, and as soon as as soon as we sign into Skype or Facebook or whatever, Kenny immediately messages us. And another thing, from what I remember, Kenny was actually playing a game of Deal or No Deal with Rodney, but none of that is the point. But yeah, and let's see. According to what Christopher Rahaman has told me, Kenny said Chris said that Kenny was actually married, and Kenny himself told me that he was a Mormon. You're not a Mormon because you don't act like one. You're almost in no, let me finish. Let me finish. You're almost in your 30s, and you have the mentality of a 14-year-old. You don't even have a mentality of a 14-year-old. You have a mentality of a 2-year-old little brat. Yes. That Oh, absolutely. Okay, now uh, just to note, let's see. Let Like Chris also said, you need to get your act cleaned up. He always says this all the time, but yeah, you need to get your act cleaned up. And like you said, Stuart, he needs to grow up. And let me tell you something else. You need to get a life because the way you act, you don't have a life. We have lives, but apparently you don't. And this is getting ridiculous. I fully regret having ever forgiven you. I should never have forgiven you because you. Hold on a second, Stuart. You and I had apologized to each other and we forgave each other. Adam and I thought that you had changed your ways, but apparently not. You have not changed one single bit. So you know what? I'm tired of you. I'm tired of you. I never want to be friends with you again, and I am never going to give you another chance. Get that through your head. I am done with you for good. Game over, goodbye, like Billy Moody says. Go ahead. clean up, grow the fuck up, get a life, because you know what, one of these days, karma will just find you in, yeah. That's right. It's just going to hurt so bad. Or even more sticking on your ass. Yeah. And that will just hurt so good. So, but Kenny, you need to just move on, make new friends, and just leave us alone. Alright? Go ahead, I'm done. Okay, and one more thing I forgot to add. This was what Adam said in part 2. There's one more thing you need to do, Kenny. Just like Raymond and Dolfo, you need physical treatment. You need psychological help. That's exactly what Adam said in part 2. Right. Alright. Now I'm going to go ahead and read the scriptures. Let's see what I found. If I can find that. I wrote them on an index card. Where did I put that index card? No, I have an index card. I don't have post-it notes. Oh, where did I put it? Sorry for the hold up, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to find where I put that index card. Oh, I don't see it. Oh, it's around here somewhere. Oh, I can't find it anywhere. Oh. Okay, I'm not gonna delay. This is getting out of hand. I don't wanna hold you guys up too much. Okay, I'm just gonna read them myself. See if I can remember. All I remember is that Adam gave me. He gave me 1 Kings, 2 Kings. Oh, now it's too dark in here. Thank you. Okay, yeah. So 1 Kings, 2 Kings, Judges, and Proverbs. Now, Adam did not specify what scriptures I should read from within those 4, but I'm gonna go right ahead. I'm just gonna read the entire all of the books in general because I don't know exactly what scriptures to read. All right, so here we go. 1 Kings chapter 1. At this time King David was very old, and although his servants covered him with blankets, he could not keep warm. They said to him, "We will look for a young woman to care for you. She will lie close to you and keep you warm." After searching everywhere in Israel for a beautiful young woman, they found a girl named Abishag from Shunem and brought her to the king. The girl was very beautiful, and she cared for the king and served him, but the king did not have sexual relations with her. Adonijah was the son of King David and Haggith, and he was very proud. "I will be the king," he said. So he got chariots and horses for himself and 50 men for his personal bodyguard. Now David had never interfered with Adonijah by questioning what he did. Born next after Absalom, Adonijah was a very handsome man. Adonijah spoke with Joab, son of Zeruiah, and Abiathar, I don't know how to pronounce that, the priest, and they agreed to help him. But Zadok the priest, Benaiah son of Jehoiada, Nathan the prophet, Shimei, Ray, and King David's special guard did not join Adonijah. Then Adonijah killed some sheep, cows, and fat calves for sacrifices at the stone of Zoheleth, near the spring of Rogel. He invited all his brothers, the other sons of King David, to come, as well as the men of Judah. But Adonijah did not invite Nathan the prophet, Benaiah his father's special guard, or his brother Solomon. When Nathan heard about this, he went to Bathsheba, Solomon's mother. "Have you heard that Adonijah, Haggith's son, has made himself king?" Nathan asked. Our real king David does not know it." Verse 12, "I strongly advise you to save yourself and your sons. Go to King David and tell him, my master and king, you promised that my son Solomon would be king and would rule on your throne after you. Why then has Adonijah become king? While you are still talking to the king, I will come in and tell him that what you have said about Adonijah is true." So Bathsheba went in to see the aged king in his bedroom, where Abishag, the girl from Shunem, was caring for him. Bathsheba bowed and knelt before the king. He asked, "What do you want?" She answered, "My master, you made a promise to me in the name of the Lord your God. You said, 'Your son Solomon will become king after me, and he will rule on my throne.' But now, unknown to you, Adonijah has become king. He has killed many cows, fat calves, and sheep for sacrifices. And he has invited all your sons, as well as Abiathar the priest and Joab the commander of the army. But he did not invite Solomon, who serves you." Verse 20, "My master and king, all the Israelites are watching you, waiting for you to decide who will be king after you. As soon as you die, Solomon and I will be treated as criminals." While Bathsheba was still talking with the king, Nathan the prophet arrived. The servants told the king, "Nathan the prophet is here." So Nathan went to the king and bowed face down on the ground before him. Nathan said, "My master and king, have you said that Adonijah will be the king after you and that he will rule on your throne? Today he has sacrificed many cows, fat calves, and sheep, and he has invited all your other sons, the commanders of the army, and Abiathar the priest. Right now they are eating and drinking with him. They are saying, 'Long live King Adonijah,' but he did not invite me, your own servant, or Zadok the priest, or Benaiah son of Jehoiada, or your son Solomon. Did you do this? Since we are your servants, why didn't you tell us who should be king after you?" Let's see. Okay, I'm not going to read all the verses, but hopefully the verses I read were enough to understand. Okay, let's go to 2 Kings. Okay, I'm going to read chapter 5. Naaman is healed. Naaman was commander of the army of the king of Aram. He was honored by his master, and he had much respect because the Lord used him to give victory to Aram. He was a mighty and brave man, but he had a skin disease. The Arameans had gone out to raid the Israelites and had taken the little girl as a captive. This little girl served Naaman's wife. She said to her mistress, "I wish my master would meet the prophet who lives in Samaria. He would cure him of his disease." Naaman went to the king and told him what the girl from Israel had said. The king of Aram said, "Go ahead, and I will send a letter to the king of Israel." So Naaman left and took with him about 750 pounds of silver, as well as 150 pounds of gold and 10 changes of clothes. He brought the letter to the king of Israel, which read, "I am sending my servant Naaman to you so you can heal him of his skin disease." When the king of Israel read the letter, he tore his clothes to show how upset he was. He said, "I'm not God. I can't kill and make alive again. Why does this man send someone with a skin disease for me to heal? You can see that the king of Aram is trying to start trouble with me." When Elisha, the man of God, heard that the king of Israel had torn his clothes, he sent the king this message: "Why have you torn your clothes? Let Naaman come to me. Then he will know there is a prophet in Israel." So Naaman went with his horses and chariots to Elisha's house and stood outside the door. Verse 10. Elisha sent Naaman a messenger who said, "Go and wash in the Jordan River 7 times. Then your skin will be healed and you will be clean." Naaman became angry and left. He said, "I thought Elisha would surely come out and stand before me and call on the name of the Lord his God. I thought he would wave his hand over the place and heal the disease. The Abana and the Pharpar, the rivers of Damascus, are better than all the waters of Israel. Why can't I wash in them and become clean?" So Naaman went away very angry. Naaman's servants came near and said to him, "My father, if the prophet had told you to do some great thing, wouldn't you have done it? Doesn't it make more sense just to do it? After all, he only told you, 'Wash and you will be clean.'" So Naaman went down and dipped in the Jordan 7 times, just as Elisha had said. Then his skin became new again, like the skin of a child, and he was clean. Naaman and all his group returned to Elisha. He stood before Elisha and said, "Look, I now know there is no God in all the earth except in Israel. Now please accept the gift from me." But Elisha said, "As surely as the Lord lives whom I serve, I won't accept anything." Naaman urged him to take the gift, but he refused. Then Naaman said, "If you won't take the gift, then please give me some soil, as much as 2 of my mules can carry. From now on I'll not offer any burnt offering or sacrifice to any other gods but the Lord. But let the Lord, pardon me for this. When my master goes into the temple of Rimmon to worship, he leans on my arm, then I must bow in that temple. May the Lord pardon me when I do that." Elisha said to him, "Go in peace." Naaman left Elisha and went a short way. Gehazi, the servant of Elisha, the man of God, thought, "My master has not accepted what Naaman the Aramean brought. As surely as the Lord lives, I'll run after him and get something from him." So Gehazi went after Naaman. When Naaman saw someone running after him, he got off the chariot to meet Gehazi. He asked, "Is everything all right?" Gehazi said, "Everything is all right. My master has sent me." He said, "2 young men from the groups of prophets in the mountains of Ephraim just came to me. Please give them 75 pounds of silver and 2 changes of clothes." Naaman said, "Please take 150 pounds." And he urged Gehazi to take it. He tied 150 pounds of silver in 2 bags with 2 changes of clothes. Then he gave them to 2 of his servants to carry for Gehazi. When they came to the hill, Gehazi took these things from Naaman's servants and put them in the house. Then he let Naaman's servants go, and they left. When he came in and stood before his master, Elisha said to him, "Where have you been, Gehazi?" "I didn't go anywhere," he answered. But Elisha said to him, "My spirit was with you. I knew when the man turned from his chariot to meet you. This isn't a time to make money, clothes, olives, grapes, sheep, oxen, male servants, or female servants. So Naaman's skin disease will come on you and your children forever." When Gehazi left Elisha, he had the disease and was as white as snow. Okay, now I'm going to go to, I still have Proverbs and Judges. Let me see. Oh, I got to go back. Hold on. Okay, I just saw Proverbs. Okay. Alright, I'm going to read Proverbs chapter... Let me see. Okay, I'll read Proverbs chapter 7. Yeah, chapter 7. Proverbs chapter 7. "My son, remember what I say and treasure my commands. Obey my commands and you will live. Guard my teachings as you would your own eyes. Remind yourself of them. Write them on your heart as if on a tablet. Treat wisdom as a sister and make understanding your closest friend. Wisdom and understanding will keep you away from adultery. Keep away from the unfaithful wife and her pleasing words." Let me stop right there. Stuart, were you saying something? Okay, sorry. All right. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, folks. Okay. Verse 6. Once while I was at the window of my house, I looked through the shutters and saw some foolish young men. I noticed one of them had no wisdom. He was walking down the street near the corner on the road leading to her house. It was the twilight of the evening. The darkness of the night was just beginning. Then the woman approached him, dressed like a prostitute, and planning to trick him. She was loud and stubborn and never stayed at home. She was always out in the streets or in the city squares, waiting around on the corners of the streets. She grabbed him and kissed him. Without shame she said to him, I made my fellowship offering and took some of the meat home. Today I have kept my special promises, so I have come out to meet you. I have been looking for you and have found you. I have covered my bed with colored sheets from Egypt. I have made my bed smell sweet with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, let's make love until morning. Let's enjoy each other's love. My husband is not home. He has gone on a long trip. He took a lot of money with him and won't be home for weeks. By her clever words she made him give in. By her pleasing words she led him into doing wrong. All at once he followed her, like an ox led to the butcher, like a deer caught in a trap and shot through the liver with an arrow. Like a bird caught in a trap, he didn't know what he did would kill him. 4 verses to go. Verse 24. Now, my sons, listen to me. Pay attention to what I say. Don't let yourself be tricked by such a woman. Don't go where she leads you. She has ruined many good men, and many have died because of her. Her house is on the road to death, the road that leads down to the grave. Alright, 3 books down. Now let's see where I can find Judges. Judges. Again, I'm sorry if these were the wrong verses I'm reading, but it's the best I could do. Where is Judges? I'm trying to find Judges. Where is Judges? Oh, Judges at the very beginning. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. My mom's calling me. I don't have time right now. Okay, well, there's so many verses. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna read. Okay, I'm gonna read chapter 8, and I'm gonna read verses 1 through 21. Okay, chapter 8, verses 1 through 21. The men of Ephraim asked Gideon, Why did you treat us this way? Why against Midian? They argued angrily with Gideon, but he answered them, I have not done as well as you. The small part you did was better than all that my people of Abiezer did. God let you capture Oreb and Zeb, the princes of Midian. How can I compare what I did with what you did? When the men of Ephraim heard Gideon's answer, they were not as angry anymore. When Gideon and his 300 men came to the Jordan River, they were tired, but they chased the enemy across to the other side. Gideon said to the men of Succoth, Please give my soldiers some bread, because they are very tired. I am chasing Zebah and Zalmunna, the kings of Midian. But the leaders of Succoth said, Why should we give your soldiers bread? You haven't caught Zebah and Zalmunna yet. Where are we right now? Okay, half an hour has passed. Okay. Verse 7. Then Gideon said, The Lord will surrender Zebah and Zalmunna to me. After that, I will whip your skin with thorns and briars from the desert. Gideon left Succoth and went to the city of Peniel and asked them for food. But the people of Peniel gave him the same answer as the people of Succoth. So Gideon said to the men of Peniel, After I win the victory, I will return and pull down this tower. Zebah and Zalmunna and their army were in the city of Karkor. About 15,000 men were left of the armies of the peoples of the east. Already 120,000 soldiers had been killed. Gideon went up the road of those who live in tents east of Nobah and Jogbeha, and he attacked the enemy army when they did not expect it. Zebah and Zalmunna, the kings of Midian, ran away, but Gideon chased and captured them and frightened away their army. Then Gideon, son of Joash, returned from the battle by the pass of Hears. Gideon captured a young man from Succoth and asked him some questions. So the young man wrote down for Gideon the names of 77 officers and older leaders of Succoth. Okay, I've got 7 verses to go. Okay, verse 15. When Gideon came to Succoth, he said to the people of that city, "Here are Zebah and Zalmunna. You made fun of me by saying, 'Why should we give bread to your tired men?' You have not caught Zebah and Zalmunna yet." So Gideon took the older leaders of the city and punished them with thorns and briars from the desert. He also pulled down the tower of Peniel and killed the people in that city. I'm busy right now. I'm sorry, but I'm busy right now. Gideon asked Zebah and Zalmunna, "What were the men like that you killed on Mount Tabor?" They answered, "They were like you. Each one of them looked like a prince." Gideon said, "Those were my brothers and my mother's sons. As surely the Lord lives, I would not kill you if you had spared them." Then Gideon said to Jether, his oldest son, "Kill them." But Jether was only a boy and was afraid, so he did not take out his sword. And finally, verse 21, then Zebah and Zalmunna said to Gideon, "Come on, kill us yourself. As the saying goes, it takes a man to do a man's job." So Gideon got up and killed Zebah and Zalmunna and took the decorations off their camels' necks. That's it. I've read every single verse I could. Again, I'm sorry if these were not the verses I was supposed to read, but it was the best I could do. Stuart, what do you think?
I think both were pretty good descriptions in my own opinion.
Okay. Like I said, I do apologize if they were not the right ones that I should have read, but it was the least I could do. So now that I read all those scriptures, what do you want to say to Kenny for your final thoughts? Because I'm gonna stop this video right now.
All I can say to you, Kenny, is fuck you. Take these middle fingers, shove it up your ass, and just leave us alone, and don't even ever bother us ever again.
That's
I don't even care what you say. If you post this comment on this video, it's because we will never forgive you for what you did.
that's right.
End of story. End of fucking discussion.
That's it. So for the last time, we're done with you. And you better follow everything that we've said in the last parts. So that's it. This video is now over. Thank you very much, Stuart McPherran, for joining me. I've already said my...
Thank you.
Okay, just a simple you're welcome, of course. I have already said my thoughts. I'm not going to say them again. This rant video is finally over. And Billy Moody, I'm sorry you couldn't join us. I really wanted you to join us for this because I remember you had done a red card on Kenny as well for what he's done. But oh well. Alright, never mind that. But anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. This is Jamar500 signing out, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.